Hello, my name is Douglas Montano. Today I'm going to be talking to you about not only viable options for upgrading the greenhouse at the current grow site, but also the feasibility of implementing these upgrades to the greenhouse. I understand that the majority of the investors on the board do not have any agricultural experience, so I'll do my best to not only streamline the information but make it as understandable as possible. To give you a little background as to why I'm qualified to make this presentation and give these suggestions for upgrades, I've been an employee at the greenhouse for several months now and have seen operation status and operation flows of how everything works at the greenhouse. Aside from that, before this job, I had an internship where I assessed economic viability of greenhouses and made suggestions on usually installing luminescent greenhouse films, that's where I got the idea to make the install suggestion at this greenhouse. Before the internship, I was employed at San Diego Hydroponics, assisting people with their grow setups and any questions they might have on commercial cultivation. And then before that, I have been working on a Bachelor's of Science in Crop and Soil Sciences at Colorado State and emphasizing in agronomic production management and or, uh, or specializing in commercial cultivation of fruiting plants. So the improvements and the alterations, if they were to be made this next spring, would show significant increase in next year's end of year profits. And so some of these upgrades that I would like to suggest are not only replacing the ceiling, but upgrading our supplemental lighting from high pressure sodium to LED, and also installing a luminescent film above our canopy to alter our light spectrums. A ceiling of more translucent material, if we were to upgrade from our polycarbonate material to a glass material, would not only up our transmission rate of sunlight power and photosynthetic capabilities, would also decrease our possibilities of having incidents like fire outbreaks and things like that, because plastics and synthetic materials, unlike glass, are very flammable and very not cost effective, very detrimental to investment costs, because we could lose entire greenhouses because of a fire. After that, installing a supplemental lighting source, though we already do have a high pressure sodium supplemental lighting source, upgrading to an LED lighting source would not only maximize efficiency by decreasing our electrical bill, but would also improve quality of our harvest, because we would be getting a more sufficient and broad-ranged UV spectrum from those lights. Initial investment for those lights is much more high than high pressure sodiums, but lifespan of the LEDs is 5 to 10 times longer than lifespan of a high pressure sodium light bulb. After that, the third upgrade I'd like to suggest would be installing a nanotechnology luminescent film that changes natural sunlight into a more viable and productive red spectrum while shifting blue light spectrum that it accumulates from the sun into a more viable red spectrum. We could boost our yield by $8.68 per square foot, and with the 35,000 square foot greenhouse that we have, that would mean an additional $1,800,000 per year. In conclusion, by making these three improvements, profitability will increase significantly, and by increased amount of photosynthetic potential from not only a better roof but supplemental lighting and from a new luminescent film above our canopy, profitability is guaranteed to increase, making all of these upgrades viable and feasible by all the evidence provided in my report. I could speak longer on these subjects, but since I'm short on time, I'd like to conclude my speech by saying the placement of the current greenhouse ceiling, installing luminescent film, and upgrading our lighting source would greatly affect and improve profitability of the company. I'd like to thank you for your time and listening to my presentation. I hope you have a good day. Thank you.